Well, I'm with Geoff Webb, the main man for this week, and I was thinking, Geoff, I did some research as well, that you're just about to start your 20th year as CEO. I'm about to start my 30th year in this industry. Between us, we've got nearly 50 years in this industry.
Yeah.
It's a thought, isn't it? Looks feel like Stadler and Waldorf.
I feel like your pupil then, because I've got another 10 years to catch up.
It's a thought, isn't it? How do you reflect back in those nigh on 20 years? Since it's big changes on from your side of things over those 20 years, or nigh on 20 years.
Well, I think if you look at the development of sport generally and the promotion of sport generally, and Premier League's the obvious one, I think the explosion of Sky Sports and what it's done for both cricket and football and more so now rugby too, is just elevated what the sports turf profession is all about. So I think that exposure you get is reflected in the halls that you see here. So I think this is a serious business-to-business show. Really interestingly, I think we are increasingly getting more and more international trade through the door here, whether that's visitors or companies. And I think it's the bedrock of how you produce sports services, not only in the UK, but globally.
You think that message is generally getting through? I mean, I know it's getting there, but it's a long way from where you'd like it to be. Do you think the rate of progress is as it should be?
I think there's steady progress, but I think you get different trends. As some companies may drop out because they've got different arenas they want to sell in. What we're finding, I think we've had over 30 new companies here and a lot of international companies in that number. So in terms of trade and how things evolve, you look at the different products that are now being sold, and going back to obviously Windsor days, everything was petrol or diesel driven, and now we're talking about battery technology, and who knew at some point in that history that you've just given us that you'd be talking about robotics
and AI as well.
AI as well, that's the next thing looming, and software systems and all those sort of things, and I think that's why you get all the major grounds across the country who are looking at that edge that they can get to produce the excellent sports services that they do.
I was hearing earlier, I didn't appreciate it at the time, but a lot of the cutting of pitches now has got to be done with VAR in mind to make sure the pitches are the same shape and diameter for the VAR cameras.
It's interesting you say that, because I a lot of chats with John Ledwidge, who's famous for the patterns they did at Leicester, but actually that got the referees associations back up, and they went back to, obviously very straight lines everywhere, which was a shame, because I actually thought what John did was brilliant. It really raised the profile of what you can do with the sports pitch. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I think those advances, but the information and the technology that goes alongside that, with the knowledge and skills and behaviours now of ground staff, you're just basically getting ever more professional with it. And we've got some great advocates, John being one of those. You've got Gary at Edgbaston, you've got Neil Stubley at Wimbledon, Carl Stanley just talked here.
They're all still fairly young guys as well.
They are compared to us, yes, Scott. But yeah, no, it's good. And we've got the next generation, which you can see on the hub behind us here. And we're constantly getting a revolving door on that, and we're now doing a legacy program on the young board and what we now call the next gen. But we've now got 3 females on that board, so the demographics of grounds management is changing, and that's something that I think has been a bit of an elephant in the room for our industry. It's male dominated, and we need to be as open and welcoming as we can to everybody, no matter what background, gender or wherever that is. We've got to harness that, and we've got to make sure that we've got a production line of people coming through.
And getting back to the show here, I'm looking forward to the event this evening, which is a first for you guys as well. That it should be quite exciting evening.
Yeah, I think it will be great. I mean, it's a lot more casual. I mean, as you know, we had the awards here, which was part of the mix for many years. We talked to the sponsors about the awards, and there was a bit of an attrition, I think, with those that exhibited here, then were sponsoring the awards. So we polled people on that, and we've taken it out. We did it for the first time last year in Headingley, and then we're moving it into making actually a bigger impact, linking it with Grounds Week next year, so that we'll do the awards first. We'll be able to publicise all those winners of that, build that into Grounds Week next year. So we've replaced that with the After Hours event, as we call it, concept event, but a lot more relaxed. It's not a sit-down dinner. It's just a way to thank everybody that's turned up today, exhibitors, visitors, and anybody who contributes to SALTEX, really, to sort of let your hair down a little bit and relax.
And I didn't want to leave without getting the opportunity to ask you a little bit about Derek Walder. So you could say something about Derek and the contribution he's made to not only the association but the show itself.
Well, Derek just epitomises probably everything I've just said. Here's a person who, not only his time at SALTEX, but being a grounds person, starting out in gardens, then moving into golf, then moving into being a volunteer actually on SALTEX. And I think it was 1979 when Derek actually took over at Motspur Park. And ever since then, he's done 42 trade shows. I think that's unique, not just in our sector running this show, but in exhibitions in general. And if you look at the team that supports Derek, they're all ground staff. And that's the history and culture of this show. And I think people need to respect the fact that this has been born by a team of ground staff who had that original thought, that original idea, and it still exists today with Derek. And we're going to run him later tonight. He doesn't know this yet, so hope it doesn't go out before. But, you know, he deserves everything that he gets in terms of recognition. I won't give away his age, but his career and what he's been able to do and the diversification of what he's been able to do just shows you what opportunities there are when you start out as a young person and then you end up in your, let's say, your 80th decade, still passionate, still wanting everything to go well and still having that dedication. I think that's just legendary status, and that's why he's in our Hall of Fame.
And he is older than you and me.
Of course he's older than you and me, and he makes us look really young, which is fantastic.
Is he going to be still around the place as of next year, or is he going to draw a line under it totally?
Derek can do whatever Derek wants to do. If he wants to walk through the door, we'll open the door to him. I think he's earned he got an honour as well. He's one of the few people in our industry. He's got the British Empire Medal, and I think he deserves more than British Empire Medal actually. So he will always be welcome through our doors.
Yeah, let's hear it for Sir Derek.
Sir Derek, makes good noise. That I enjoy that one.
Smashing. Well, good. Thanks for giving us a little bit of your time over the last 5-10 minutes. It's been lovely, and good luck for the rest of the show, Geoff.
No, great, thanks.